I built Clearmud-OS, a multi-agent AI system that researches competitors, analyzes trends, and writes complete content drafts. I'm going to show you exactly how it works, walk through real outputs, and show you how to copy the entire system. Now, without squirrel ado, let's build. As of now, Clearmud's operating system is lean and mean. I only have 3 available commands, one for a newsletter, one for Substack, and one for YouTube script generation. The one I've fine-tuned the most is the YouTube script generator, so that's going to be the one that we highlight in today's episode. Here's all the subagents that bring everything together. We have a content researcher, we have an idea generator, and then we have a script voice analyzer, a social researcher, and a video researcher, as well as a title thumbnail hook strategist, as well as a YouTube script writer. There's a lot of subagents here. And then here is my directory and how it looks here. YouTube data, which is not something you're going to see, the research, and then scripts. And here's just a preview of how it looks in Obsidian. It gives me, I created posting kits that have copy paste ready YouTube descriptions that are optimized for reach. I have, an intro. Let me actually pull up an Obsidian window just to scroll through an entire script here. This is a dummy script I made for this video. One thing I do as well with my scripts, I don't read them word for word. That's not my style. I like reading the general theme of the script, the outline of the script, talking points of the script, and then I wing it, right? I really want to make sure that this channel is all about my voice, that I don't sound robotic, that I'm someone you can relate to, right? Because we're not AI experts. We're all learning as we go. Let me show you how it works. So I have a fresh terminal open here, and we're just, I've already spun up Claude. So now all we do is /, and you'll notice that each command that you put into your operating system, you don't have to type out the whole thing. You can just go down to YouTube script. Now, before you generate, make sure to go through phase 0 idea generation. Now, this is something that I made optional personally. And the reason I made it optional is because a lot of the times I may not want it to go through phase 0, right? The 100 to 10 to 1 Patty Galloway framework. But in this case, I really want to show you all of the features of this YouTube script command. And I hope this is getting your idea, your brain turning here on ways that you can build something for your process, for your business, for your process as a creative, or maybe for your business. The only limitations here are our imagination and knowledge for what we want to build and how we want to optimize things. So now, as you can see here, the to-do list. It's generating 100 video ideas using Patty Galloway's framework. Next, it's going to present those top 10 ideas for me to select. Then it's going to launch the video researcher and voice analyzer in parallel. Then it's going to launch our title thumbnail hook strategist to create 3 packaging strategies. Then it's going to present those strategies to me. I'm going to choose my favorite 1 or 2, right? You don't have to just pick 1. And then it's going to launch the YouTube script writer with the approved strategy from the previous step. So it's not completely automated. And the reason it's not is I do want my input. I do want to make decisions, right? But it's doing a lot of the heavy lifting for me. It's analyzing, and let me show you just briefly how it looks. So as you can see here, I have my channel, I have Riley Brown's channel, and Greg Eisenberg's channel. Shout out to Greg, shout out to Riley. I love your content. If you're watching this, let's collab. I'll reach out one day. But if by chance you're watching this, let's collab. I would love to. Now, I put these channels in here not to copy paste, to draw inspiration from, and to find a common thread. I do plan on incorporating other channels right now, but I really know who my target audience is. I know what the niche I want to focus on is. So I really want to keep it lean and mean. And I love their channels. I love their content. I love their focus. I love their voice, right? And then I also obviously have my voice in there as well for the data. So every time we run this command, it checks Greg's channel, it checks Riley's channel, and then it checks my channel. All right. Now, here is a script for fetching YouTube data. Now, I'm going to show you here what our command markdown file looks like here. So it just lets you know this command orchestrates the complete YouTube script creation process using the thumbnail title hook first methodology, then script it built around locked packaging strategy. Lets us know what the philosophy is. Critical insight, 90% of video success is title plus thumbnail, getting the click, and hook, keeping it. Script is secondary. Therefore, we must lock in the TTH strategy before writing a single word of body content. And that's exactly what this command does for me, right? Lets us know the flow. I'm not going to read this word for word. Phase 0, right, which is optional, but I forced it on this one, is our ideation, right? It uses the idea generator, creates 100 ideas, brings it down to 10. I then pick one, right? Or more, but I usually just pick one. Then phase 1, launch research agents in parallel. We have a video researcher, we have a script voice analyzer. Then phase 2, we launch the title, thumbnail, hook strategist, right? This is critical, do not skip. Same with this previous phase as well. Let's see here. Now, I've already mentioned kind of this process, waits for user approval here, and then it launches the script writer. So it looks like the ideas is done. And one thing I love using Obsidian in parallel with this, because, you know, this is not the most desirable way to read things. So I always pull it up in Obsidian. I can create multiple tabs. It's very, you know, it feels like I'm looking at it in a Google Sheets doc, right? Format. Top 10 ranked ideas. I built the world's first AI content operating system in 3 hours. Copy my system. I actually love that title. Why this wins. World's first. That might be a bit too much, but Content OS, trending term with search volume. That's good to know. 3 hours, specific time constraint, creates urgency. Love that. Copy my system, actionable promise. Combines multiple tools. Appeals to creators, businesses, and solo entrepreneurs. CCN fit. This is something, if you're unaware of what this means, please research Patty Galloway if you're serious about growing on YouTube. And then it gives us 3 title options out the gate. Okay, great. See, these are brief overviews, right? Claude Code just made me 10,000 in 48 hours. You know, an idea like this, I want to actually build the thing before I make the video. So this might be an idea that I bookmark, but I don't want to go and create the video before I actually made $10,000 in 48 hours, right? I don't want to fake content. I don't want to fake it till I make it. Now, maybe that's your style, and there's nothing wrong with that, but that's something you have to be specific about, right? Something that you have to be religious about with the way that you make content, in my opinion. I cloned a $50 million SaaS in 4 hours. They spent 3 years building it. That's a great title. I love that, right? This is a great just clone something that's working demo. Build a personal AI assistant that actually works. Mine saves me 15 hours a week. I'm not joking when I say this. Mine probably saves me 20 to 30 hours a week, which is, it's insane. Love it. Love it. Okay. And then as we progress, right, gives us the 10. It gives us eliminated ideas with reasons, right? No clear visual, no specific result. So I love this. I love this. Adjacent niche insights, no code SaaS builders. Love this. Indie hacking, AI automation agencies. And then it gives us examples of other people's channels, right? That Matt Wolf is actually somebody I I watch a lot of his videos. I may not watch every video, but I do plan on incorporating him into my competitors' research at a later time. It's just, as I mentioned before, I wanted to keep it lean and mean. And then it gives us a competitive advantage map, right? So what's amazing is through all of the logic that I baked into the system, it defined me for me. I didn't have to change it. It nailed it. What I do best: real-time building, not post-production. Here's what I made. Authentic voice, casual, no gatekeeping, genuine excitement. That's what you get here. Practical results, working apps, not just demos. Tool synthesis, combining Claude Code, Google AI, Cursor, etc. Accessible complexity, intermediate topics explained simply. I hope I can do that. Now, what competitors do? I mean, this is solid, very on point. He is very polished, higher production. He does things speed. Greg Eisenberg, business strategy, founder interviews, idea generation. This is why I really love, I don't miss an episode of Greg's, to be honest. I love them all. Even if I may not be excited about a particular video, I still watch it. Now, lets me know what my blue ocean is. And I didn't even define the blue ocean strategy in here, right? This is something that Patty Galloway talks about. So it pulled it from that methodology. Business aware building. You explain why something is valuable while building it. Tool agnostic. Use the best tool for the job, not locked to one sponsor. This is something I never want to do, is to be locked into a sponsor. Messy middle. You show the debugging, the thinking process, the real workflow. Some of my videos are slow. Some of my videos might lose attention, right? If you're just here for the quick transitions and intros and summary, right? I'd rather show a lot of the process, even when I'm feeling frustrated. Time box builds. Constraint creates tension and improves viability. And then as we continue to scroll here, it lets us know it created 127 ideas. And we can show them all, but I don't want to go through that process. Now let's go back to our operating system here, because it's waiting for my approval. Top 10 video ideas generated. I want to choose my idea. I don't want to say world's first because I doubt we're the world's first, right? Let's go with 3. Number 3, please. Oops. Yeah, remember when you're working within Claude Code, if you start with a pound, this is, you're adding to its logic. So I had to start off with some verbiage first so that it didn't try to, add anything to the logic when I was just saying number 3, please. Sounds like I'm at a drive-through window. All right, so now it's going to launch both the video researcher and the script voice analyzer in parallel. And yeah, as we're waiting for this to work, right? What I would normally do in this phase is other research. Maybe I am going through, I'm going to show you a lot of kind of how I work here. Maybe I'm going through my ideation phase, right? Maybe I'm looking at another video that I need to create. As you can see here in my queue, I already have, all of these scripts and thumbnails ready to go. I just need to make the videos and I'm prioritizing them accordingly, right? Right now we're working on this one. And I do need to set an air date here, but that's at a later time, right? So every single one of these, I already have thumbnails baked into them. I already have the thumbnails created, right? I always fine tune this closer towards the end. Sometimes I'll do it before I record the video, but a lot of the times when I'm, exporting the video in 4K, that's when I'll go in, because there is some downtime, right? To optimize this so that it's copy paste ready for the YouTube description field when I upload the video. Now, one thing I don't do is I haven't set up, an automation to where a certain directory shows the thumbnail options. I don't want to manually kind of put them in here because this is just, I don't really show anybody this, but that's what goes into making one of these videos. It's a lot. And it used to take me a lot of time before I built this operating system. And one thing I forgot to show, right? It shows the other 10 as well, but it shows its top 3 and why, right? Monetary result, time constraint, combines business outcome plus technical execution, highest excitement factor, right? For this one here. But I don't want to go with that. I don't want to chase the clicks. So this is something I do plan on doing. I'll give you a teaser. I do have a script ready for something like this. And as you can see here, I already have everything ready, thumbnails ready. I don't feel that I'm in a position to create content like that quite yet. It doesn't feel authentic to me yet. So I curbed that idea, but I think it's a great idea. And for anyone curious, I came into this with, I only have a pro subscription. Oops, let's spin up Claude. It's just a fun way to kind of, and something else you can do as well that I do sometimes is, especially yesterday, is I ran my YouTube script command here, and then I would run my newsletter researcher here as well, right? You can open up multiple terminals within the same project and have it working simultaneously, right? Having your YouTube on the left, newsletter on the right, or whatever your other command is. But I just want to check usage to give you an idea of, okay, we've used 29% of our current session just for launching this. It does take a lot. Now, I only have the pro sub because I don't need the max, and I'm really trying to bootstrap this brand, the creation of this brand. I'm looking forward to the day where me subscribing for max makes sense. But right now, pro is all I need. And it gets the job done. And I only run this command once a week, right? I run it a few times once a week, but I focus one day on ideation, right? And then the rest of the week is free to use my Claude Code subscription for other projects and demonstrations as well. So one thing I did notice here is you have to tab through because it doesn't update real time. So we're up to 32%. Yeah. And you know what? While this is working, I think this is a great time to show you my approach. Now, I prepped this beforehand. This is a solid. Now, I don't have my original prompt. I tried, I didn't set the rule to have it log every prompt when I was first creating this. I know that's a thing now, so forgive me. I don't have the exact prompts I used, but it's been a lot of back and forth. But I will give you the very first prompt that I did use, and let me put it here. It will be in the YouTube description below. I'm just going to put it at the end of the YouTube description. Build your own YouTube script generator. Bam. Okay. All right. So now what I want to do here, create a text field. All right. So this was roughly the prompt that I used, right? This isn't exact, but I did mention, hey, I want to create Clearmud operating system, which will be a smart tool that I personally use to research and draft weekly newsletters, write scripts for new YouTube videos based on other YouTube channels and videos that perform, tweet or X post generator based on our YouTube videos, and more. I'd like to start with building on the YouTube script generator first. Create a YouTube script generator system. Create a YouTube script research system that analyzes competitor newsletters and writes drafts. Build. 1. Build a YouTube script / command that reads YouTube channel URLs from my files or asks me to provide them, launches a content researcher subagent to find trends, then launches an idea generator subagent to come up with 100 ideas, then gives me a preview of the top 10, saves research and draft to organized folders. 2, a content researcher subagent that analyzes competitor channels for trending and relevant topics, identifies content gaps and opportunities, finds time-sensitive angles, passes insights to the idea generator. And then last but not least, an idea generator subagent that gets insights from the content researcher, writes 3 YouTube scripts detailing key focus, creates a complete. Now, I don't remember limiting this. So if you want to make longer YouTube videos, obviously make adjustments to this, right? This is just an example of what I used, by memory to create this. Create a complete 500 to 800 word draft, matches my writing voice based on my existing content, includes practical takeaways, add a natural soft CTA if relevant. Folder structure, / YouTube scripts for completed scripts, / YouTube research for research, strategy, and voice docs, / metrics for research reports, which I haven't yet used, which is interesting. The system should analyze what's trending across multiple channels, analyze my YouTube channel from the link in my files, analyze the videos from my competitors and the links in my files, writes in my voice, learn from my files, create ready-to-use drafts, not just outlines, make subject lines that create curiosity. Now, in addition to this, right, after I prompted this one, then I started finding certain YouTube videos, right, that Patty Galloway was in. Let me kind of show you a little bit more here. We have a Patty Galloway integration here. And if you want this, let me know. If you want this exact copy paste, drop a comment below and tell me you want it, okay? And I will post it in the replies. And then I also, let's go into YouTube data. No, that's not the one. Where is it? Research. Okay. I can also give you, as you can see here, here's the transcripts that I pulled methodology from. One of my favorite Patty Galloway videos. But then also there's Willem Gilliam. He is brilliant when it comes to script writing. He's one of the OG script writers for Ali Abdaal. And he's worked with a lot of other creators as well. But I really loved his approach, so I wanted to incorporate his methodology as well. So if you want this, as I mentioned before, drop a comment below. Let me know that you want it, and I will give it to you, okay? I can't fit all of this into the YouTube description. Otherwise, I would, right? I already know based off of my YouTube description as shown here, I might have to shave some text off for it to fit. It might be at its max capacity. I'm not sure yet, right? Once I put in all the links and everything. So, but please let me know that you want it, and I'd be happy to give you these methodology markdown files. Okay, let's see where we're at. All right, perfect. So phase 2 is complete. The title, thumbnail, hook strategies are ready. Strategy number 1, money stakes plus disruption. I cloned a $50 million SaaS in 4 hours. They spent 3 years building it. Okay, gives us a thumbnail preview, like some, a thumbnail summary. It gives us more depth once we write the script, and you'll see it later on. Hook, $50 million, 3 years of development. Calendly lets people schedule meetings without the email back and forth. I'm cloning it in 4 hours with Claude Code, same core features. It's actually I like that a lot. Wow. I built a $3 billion Calendly clone in 4 hours with AI, no dev team, right? This is time compression plus accessibility. I really like that one. And look, it's recommended as well. That's awesome. And strategy number 3, right? You can see that these are all strategies around the same topic that we chose. Can one person with AI beat a $50 million dev team? I tested it. Skeptic, conversion plus proof. I'm stuck between 1 and 2. And it gives you predicted click-through rate as well, which I think is a nice touch. Let's go with strategy number 2. I don't always go with the recommended, but let's go with strategy number 2. And then it gives us options here. Which strategy do you want to use for the script? Option 1, please. And now it's going to move over to writing the script. And let's see where we are on our usage. If you're a fellow pro subscriber, as you can see, I have a lot of logic and steps and benchmarks baked into my operating system for this command. You don't need to have it as in depth, right? What I would recommend is when I first started this YouTube script command, it was very simple, as you could see, based off of a rough estimate of what I prompted out the gate. I then added in Paddy Galloway's framework. I then added in, the 100 to 10 to 1. Then I added in the William Gulliam's framework as well for the title, thumbnail, and hook strategist, right? So start with something simple and then find ways to improve it. That's what I would recommend. Start with a simple command, start with a simple team of subagents, and then fine tune it per your voice, per your brand, per your niche, per your audience, right? You're going to improve as you go. I use this every week now, and I'm still making adjustments to it. So, yeah, we're going to wait for the final output of the script. All right. Now, it's ready to preview here. Now, I'm just going to let it create this script markdown file because, as I mentioned before, I do not like previewing within the terminal. I simply run the commands within the terminal and then make my approvals, but I read everything in Obsidian. 113904. All right. Yeah, looks like it's still writing it. And it looks like we used 67% of a session, a 5-hour block, for creating one script. Right? It does use a lot, but I'm sure if you had a max subscription, it uses a sliver. Now, lets us know what it's done, where all the files are located according with this entire process, and lets you know where to start. So we're going to start here. Let's go preview the script. All right, target video length, wonderful. Script word count. So as you can see here, my word count here is definitely much larger. Lets us know the content type, target audience, tone, primary goal, secondary goal. All right, gives us title options. Beautiful, beautiful. Gives us a thumbnail concept locked from the title, thumbnail, hook strategy. Gives us our hook, exactly. Now, here's our posting kit. Copy, paste, YouTube description that you do want to fine tune. I have included, I have been updating this quite a bit so that I improve it with each script. If you go look at one of my older scripts, you're going to notice it doesn't have all of that. That's because that's something that I've improved over time and baked into the logic. I love the structure of timestamps, tools, features, key learnings, who it's for, cost comparison, about me related videos, right? This is very, very, very optimized, right, for search. And then we have a copy paste for YouTube tags, and then we have the full script here. And then it gives you recommended visuals as well to post with it. Beautiful, beautiful. Hour number 1. We need the foundation, first prompt, build a scheduling app. I mean, it even gives us the prompts, which is wonderful. Lets us know what the visual is. I mean, as you can see, this script writer is no joke, right? And if you wanted to compare it with any past files, let's say we want to go to our video research. We just open to the right. Oh, and this is our research report, right? I guess what you would want to do is open the script to the right if you read from left to right. But let me continue showing you the output here. It does a lot of work, and it's very good work. It's very, very good work. If you're here doing research for faceless YouTube generation. I have another operating system I'm working on that is going to write scripts for a faceless YouTube channel. It's very similar to this one, but it definitely has some key differences. Let's keep going. Demo side-by-side comparison. Real Calendly on the left, your clone on the right. Wonderful. Reflection, what this means. All right, real talk. They have hundreds of employees. I cloned the core product in 4 hours alone with AI. So what does that mean? It means the hard part of building software isn't the code anymore. The hard part is knowing what to build, right? Imagination. All right, gives us an outro. This is something I'm ever evolving. I have a certain outro here on this channel that I don't even put into the script because it's something that is baked into my brain. But let's continue down. Production notes, required shots and assets, right? Depending on your workflow, you may or may not use that religiously. Editing notes, kind of lets you know, first 30 seconds should be fast cuts, energetic, no dead space. Intro, medium pace, build hours, right? Wonderful. Some recommended music as well. Transitions, text on screen, recommendations, gives you the technical specs as well. I don't follow these at all. This is something that it just did for me. This is just a reminder to me because in my earlier days of this channel I wouldn't always optimize sound. All right, so moving on to LinkedIn copy. We have a copy paste field here. Same with X, single post, X thread. And then, I baked in an anti-slop verification logic within this command because I do not want to sound like AI slop, and I do not want these posts to sound like AI slop. So it analyzes my existing accounts and really gets my voice from it. And then even at that, I do find myself tweaking these sometimes, right? I'll copy paste it. I'll put it into a preview post on LinkedIn. And then you know what? I think we can do without this sentence, or I think we can change things around a bit. So, it's not copy paste for me. This is an outline, a benchmark, an example more than anything. So I really hope you use it the same way. All right. 80% rule. This is from Patty Galloway's methodology, right? So, and these are just kind of like things to read through. I always read through this line for line, especially before I even record. There's been times where I'll generate the script, and then after reading the entire script from top to bottom, I have second thoughts on it, right? And this is very important because it's from this point where I go and I then create, right? I'm just showing you top to bottom here, and then ready for production. Wonderful. Once I have the script ready, then I go generate the YouTube thumbnails, right? Because the title is sound. The strategy is sound. I don't have, a way to automate the thumbnail generation. There is no tool that could do it without any human edits. So I still personally edit those in Photoshop. But as I did mention earlier in this video, I do use a combination of Perplexity and Manus to generate drafts based off of the script's suggestions, as well as the video research will give us, where is it? Maybe it's not video research. Maybe it is, it's the TTH strategy. So this will give us a thumbnail concept. I then paste this thumbnail concept into a prompt with Perplexity Labs as well as Manus. And I say, generate 3 variations of this for this title, quote unquote. And then I give it the first default title right here. And then it gives me, I get a total of 6 drafts. I then take those 6 drafts, pull up Photoshop, open up my Clearmud thumbnail parent file, and then I start creating it based off of those examples, right? Sometimes I'll grab some elements from those examples if I really like it, but these tools don't nail the thumbnail yet. I'm sure it's going to get to that point when they do. I also did go through a phase where I built my own thumbnail generator using Google AI Studio. I don't use it as often anymore because it's too cartoony for me. I've dialed in a method within Photoshop that I think is very simple and very effective. Only time will tell. So I hope you found some value in today's video. I hope this gets your ideas flowing, your brain turning. Let me know below in the comments below, if you want any of those markdown files I mentioned earlier in this video. I'd be happy to provide them. Just show me that you're interested in them. And yeah, I'm not an AI expert. I'm building in public and sharing what actually works. If you'd like to see me make a particular video around a specific topic, drop a comment below. Let me know who you are, what you do, who your target audience is, and what your question is, and I will add a video to my queue, custom tailored just for you. Thank you so much for tuning into today's video. My name is Marcelo. This is Clearmud, and clarity matters.